Hey everybody, it's Miss A and I am doing a video for our math notebook. So we started off with Unit 11 angles today, and it was on a purple sticky note and it should be affixed. We had our date 3/26/19 and our learning target. We can classify and name angles based on a comparison to right angles. We talked about that our focus was angles, and what are we doing with them? We're classifying them when comparing them to right angles. So some of the things that we had in our notes were some previously learned vocabulary. We talked about a ray. An array has an endpoint and a continuous. We talked about a line having two continuums, a line segment having two endpoints. We talked about a vertex is where two line segments or rays come together. We talked about the definition of an angle. It's formed when two rays meet at a common endpoint. We talked about a right angle. It's an angle that equals exactly 90 degrees. That's a right angle. We also did acute angle. Which is less than 90 degrees. We talked about an obtuse angle, which is greater than 90 degrees. And we talked about a straight line, which is equal to 180 degrees. All right, so this is the vocabulary that we needed to have. Let me go ahead and show you all of this here. Move this page up a little bit here. So we have all of that. That is our vocabulary that we discussed, and it should be in their notebook. All right, let me see here. What else did we do? So we did create this little angle device. So we took a circle and we folded it in half. And then we folded that in half, and at the vertex, or the end point, this created our 90 degrees. And we were able to use this to help us determine whether an angle is greater than 90 degrees or less than 90 degrees. So what we did, and this was one of our sheets, and this does need to be glued into the notebook. First thing that I did have the students do is once they created this, they were then, let's make sure we date the page. They were supposed to create an angle using their angle maker. So create a 90-degree angle. So we just, we trace the outside edges, and that's a 90-degree angle. And then they were told, so we're going to label that as right. They were told to create an acute angle, which means, and so you do one edge, and then what I do is like a little dash line. That shows me that's where right would be. Acute is less than 90, so I'm going to do it like this. And that's less than 90 degrees, so that is acute. And I remember that because I'm like, oh, it's so acute. And then obtuse, we draw a line here, and then we just make the other ray bigger than the orange. So you see if I were to place this in the middle, you could see that I can see both. So this is greater than 90 degrees. And this is obtuse. So they are expected to have this in their notebook that they made from their little paper. And then they had some practice. And what we had to do with this is they were to take their little right angle and they are to place the vertex in the vertex of the angle. And if they do that and they see both of the rays directly on the edge, just like this one, that tells them that it is equal to 90 degrees. All right? If they were to place their, and you have to line up one of the bottom rays, so line up one of the rays so I can see it here. When I look at this other one, I don't see it directly on the line or outside, so this one is less than 90 degrees because it's actually covered by the orange paper when I put it in the vertex. Let's look at this particular one. So here I'm going to take my vertex, put it in the corner. I line up my rays, so I line up that ray, and you see I can see it outside, which means this is greater than 90 degrees. All right, so this is a right angle, this is acute, and this is obtuse. So the students were supposed to do all of these, and then they were to glue this into their notebook like a foursquare. So I do it in quads, and then I glue it into my notebook. And if I glue it with this part facing up, I can actually put my little angle thing inside, and I'm able to use it, and it's glued into my notebook. So I'm actually going to have to go to this page here. So let me date it again. Let me get my glue stick. Here it is. Couple of swipes, get it glued in. All right, and then the last thing that we had for today was our exit ticket. All right, the exit ticket, they were able to use their little angle maker, and they were to determine all of these first. They were supposed to go through, is it less than 90, equal to 90, greater than 90, or equal to a straight line? They were to label them, and then they were supposed to put them in the right spots. Now, we need to make sure we know our vocabulary. This section will be very vocab heavy because that's how you know where things need to go. So a right angle has to equal 90, and it might help to do this. Equal 90. This is obtuse, so that means greater than 90. This is acute, that means less than 90. And this is straight, that means 180 degrees. All right, and then this was checked and also glued into their notebook. So it could be folded like this and then glued right here at the bottom of the notebook. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. This is your math notebook for today.